I'm not sure I could exactly explain why I am fascinated by history and maritime history. Some kids are interested in soccer, other kids are interested in NASCAR, other kids are interested in trains, and I was always interested in history, and especially in old sailing ships. I was a big fan of Treasure Island and Mutiny on the Bounty. Sometime in my 30s, I sort of remembered how much I like the maritime history. And I have been concentrating on that for the last 10 years or so. The first step is the research. A lot of times I'll do, say, a specific battle scene, so I need to research all the captain's letters and the ship's logs that might talk about the battle. Sometimes now you can look up exactly where the sun or the moon might have been on that day at that time of day. I need to look at the weather conditions and the sea conditions and the sails. I need to know a lot about 18th century sail handling, because the thing is, there's always somebody out there who knows a little bit more than you do about flags. There's always somebody out there who knows a little bit more than you do about the birds of the Atlantic. And there's always somebody who's a real expert on cannons and explosions. And these people can't wait to find the mistakes in your paintings, and they can't wait to point them out. So I have to try to be as expert as I can on all of these items. And that to me is the fun part. That to me is the interesting part, is getting all that right. So I personally don't mind if somebody finds the mistakes and points them out to me, especially if the painting isn't finished yet. When I do a new painting and I start with a blank canvas, it usually takes maybe about a week and a half, 2 weeks to go from just a blank white canvas to a finished painting. But the research and the planning and the sketching takes much longer than that. It can be a number of weeks, but it also has taken my entire lifetime to find out everything I can about the, 18th century maritime world. So my father was in the Navy. He went to the Naval Academy back in the 50s and actually met my mother at the Naval Academy and got married in the chapel there. And I still have my father's Naval Academy sword as a little inspiration for my historic scenes. Several years ago, my mother came over and brought a box full of things that she had saved in the attic for all these years from my childhood. In the box were like my old report cards and my first driver's license and things like that. And one of the things she brought out was this old painting of a Viking ship that I did when I was about 15, 14 years old. And what struck me was that I was doing a very, very similar painting in my studio at the time. At that exact moment, I was doing a painting of a Viking ship with red striped sails, just like the one I had done as a kid. And it was at that point that it really struck me that now, as an adult, I'm doing exactly what I did when I was a child. So I realized that now I've managed to make a career out of my hobby. It gives me a lot of pleasure to do all the research and get this completely accurate, and then have this definitively accurate version of the event. Essentially, I'm doing these paintings to delight myself, and I'm just happy that other people seem to enjoy them as well. The field of historic maritime paintings, I don't think I can ever exhaust the number of subjects that I would still like to paint. There's just so many subjects, so many types of ships, and so many types of scenes and historic recreations that I could do, that I'm sure it could keep me busy till I'm older and grayer and can no longer hold a brush. So, I hope to never retire. I just hope to paint up until the very end.